They don't want main to get in that counter pick. Getting the Orianna ban out there. There's the Cho'Gath. We were talking about potentially seeing that one.
That could potentially be a B1 Scion from Mainter here.
Yeah.
Snatch it from Baus.
It's gone.
one of the strongest champions in the game right now, right? You gotta take it away.
Yeah. Usually champions that rise up when a bunch of other things are out, like Control Mages, is Aurora. I think Aurora Flex becomes really, really broken. Wait, hang on a minute. Azir's open. That's not normal.
But Nemesis has played Xerath and Vel'Koz into picks like that.
I did play Xerath on that.
So he does have answers, right?
Yeah, Xerath is playable. I think you have a lot of answers, and you could do Maokai plus Yone. You could do a Kali composition
Don't say the
as
M
well.
word, man.
I know.
Maokai?
I'm sorry. Velius had a bit of a shaky series, you know.
So
maybe,
we put him in a doghouse?
Maybe he deserves it.
We
you know?
put him in a doghouse?
I
feel like Zin's out solid. Oh my word, he went for Kiana.
Okay.
I know he's been playing this.
Okay. Last time he played a Kiana in an official game for LR, that game was unwatchable. Absolutely. He knows it.
Hasn't he been practicing it since, though?
He practiced a ton of games of Kiana, and he actually said that he realized that playing the champion a little bit slower, because he just kept going, was the answer right here. Now, priority mid for me is super important. In our Lord and Saviors 2025 Summer Split, for me to see Ahri, it's a bannable offense.
I'm not as down on Ahri as you are, but I do agree. I think there might have been better picks.
Double jungle.
Zed, matching the assassin pick and a really fast clear speed. It's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Yukino has been so good mechanically in the early game, but this kind of puts the brakes on, you know, the early game playmaking, because you aren't as strong as something like a Jarvan.
Yeah. You do outclear the Kiana on speed on your first clear as well, though, so you do get that, you know, that cheat recall in, rock up with a pickaxe to every fight. You just have a massive item advantage off the back of it.
Yeah.
Do you want to lock in the Leona here?
I think it's the last engage.
It's the last engage support that remains.
Or
your Bard is no longer, or your Braum. Or you could go potentially Nico right here to counter.
Oh my word.
They're now just going to ban.
Just go all in. It's just go all in. Look, Kiana, Ahri, Kled, they all have all-in buttons.
Yeah, and they're going to blind pick Baus's comfort this match. I feel like Kled has been really comfortable before him. He's been taking a lot of different matchups. And now for top laners, the best top laners into Kled, the worst matchup historically, by far, is Fiora. That's by far the worst matchup. I'm not sure if they're going to play it.
Okay,
Jax
guys,
really
we're in EU.
Yeah, I know. Okay, listen, but Mainta's pretty good, right? Mainta's pretty damn good.
He's still from EU, I'm just saying.
If he wants to whip that out, I wouldn't complain. He's got a lot of CC on his team and frontline to work with already.
You just want a game 4.
Bro.
I'm not going to lie. I think you're being biased.
Honestly, if they lock Fiora in, the reverse sweep starts.
Alternatively, you can go like some kind of range champ. Range generally destroys Kled.
Yeah.
Right. So what they're going to do actually is drop Reckless. He might suffer a bit in terms of pool. Leona's the last hard engaged champion. I feel like
I think Nico might get hit here as well.
Nico could get hit, and then you're down to just range champions. I think you've got your Renata for Reckless, Milio for Reckless, Lulu.
Or
these options.
Janna. You're playing against Zed. Janna could also be.
I guess Janna into Rel isn't bad, but
exactly.
I don't think they're locking it. I think that champ is terrible.
I'm racking my brain on what could get locked in.
So is everybody, but they did lock her in.
We don't see something as... I mean, obviously there's things like Aphelios and Lulu that you could look to lock in. There's obviously Zeri, Lulu, and stuff like that as well. You could go down a total crazy road and, like, Kalista, Thresh as a potential pick, but I feel like that is absolute chaos at that point.
There goes the Lulu.
Yeah, there goes the Lulu.
I mean,
the Lulu's a solid ban. Oh, of course, Nico's open.
Yeah, I think Nico works really, really well, but what they're going to do Renata.
I always forget about this champion.
Renata, Nico, Milio were his last options. Are they going to R5 Crowny? I really... with AD carry so pinched and being way more blindable than support, I would rather they blind picked AD here.
Are they that pinched right now? You've still got things like the Varus. You've still got things like Vash.
Tristana. Really not that great anymore. It's super open. I suppose it works with the one-shot composition they're going for, but this way they could save Tristana maybe as a counter pick.
Honestly, I actually really like the Varus Ashe because it gives non-committal engage. Right now, your engage is
can't go Varus anymore. If that Ziggs is locked in, you are going to be dunked on, and then you can't play on hit. Into Caitlyn, I think we might be seeing Ashe Renata.
I'm gonna be completely honest. It's looking like an Ezreal angle. I know that 3XA is an English speaker, but his Ezreal has looked pretty good. Generally.
I think when you play against Renata, you're gonna want to match range, right? So here you could match range with the Jhin, or maybe a Blitz. Like Blitz could be an angle if you want to go down that route.
There's always a Rel.
Sorry, yeah, I'm so lost.
I like how Grandma and Grandpa are teaching him. Yeah, this is jungle here.
But here, this is what
honestly, slam Kalista. What do you have to lose?
I actually think Kalista's not terrible. You get a lot of mobility. You get the follow-up on the team. You can throw Crownie in. You can then get a big turnaround.
You've got a full diving team into a Renata ult with a Kalista in the back.
I actually think Kalista's kind of cooking here.
Severe.
That's also another champion. And it's the classic, like...
I don't like this. I think you have a range issue. With Sivir, it's really hard to free hit into an Azir. You're running into soldiers. You also get outranged by the Jhin. I'm not the biggest fan of this Sivir, but they picked it and they believe in
There's
Crownie
no
Sivir.
front line, right? You kind of want to buy time for your Sivir in the front line to get those ricochets down. It is a more of a front-to-back champion for me, at least the way that I see her. She can thrive a little bit more individually, especially when you have a Renata on you, but I feel like a more structured team fighting composition for Sivir is what makes her shine.
I agree with you. I think it's really hard comp for LR to play. They have good answers individually. Like I think, for example, Renata's great into Rel. Like it's a super good match for the Renata, and it's really hard to engage. So it's going to be a hard one. They got to peel with damage and kills, I feel like.
I think the big problem that LR have had this entire series is a balance in their comps. They haven't had comps that have like enough damage dealers, enough frontliners, enough engagements. They've been kind of likes of LR. So we're getting locked and loaded to go onto the Rift for our third game. LR's backs are to the wall right now. That golden road could fall apart right here, right now.
And I would also like to highlight Slowq right here. I feel like he has been the underline, not necessarily the star of the team. However, right here, people would not necessarily expect him if they know him from like way back, a couple of years back. They wouldn't expect him onto the Azir. However, he has had, again, a very similar trajectory to Cream, where he started with Assassin Champions, and then he's learned how to play the mages to facilitate for a crazy jungler that he has right now, particularly, that needs the most shoving mid lane waves.
If we're going to go with the Cream analogy for Slowq, I'm not the biggest fan of Cream's Azir.
What? I think he's incredible on Azir and Wave.
Dislike it.
Okay, this guy's not, he's only watched recently, okay?
He's a sleepy boy.
Look, if I'm looking at this game right now, for Lost RATONES, I'm looking at a really strong 2v2 mid jungle that they could play make through early game, as well as a strong pushing 2v2 bot lane that I thought KC Blue might look to lane swap away from, but then again, you know, Rek'Sai into range snaps, it's not great. So they're going to maintain matching lanes, and that should be pushed now for bot lane when it comes to LR that they can play through.
Alrighty, well, both junglers starting up on the same side, so again, we'll be clearing down, so the pressure that you're able to build bot side is actually going to have major consequences. This time, though, starting with a Ricochet, you do get that lane push for you as LR, so this time they will be able to play around Velia, but again, it boils back to the Z playstyle. You clear very quickly, you're back and get a pickaxe, and then you rock up the Scuttle Crab with a pickaxe.
Oh, Kiana is also incredibly quick
in terms of
clear, right? This is one of her strengths currently. However, I do like the double range bot lane because you can very easily take control of that bot lane into the Rel. And also with the handshake, you can also dissipate a lot of that engage that Rel brings into the team fights. However, I'm actually really interested in the top lane matchup because primarily we've seen Flandre pick Rek'Sai, one of the first few who brought it out on an international stage, and primarily picked into tanks as well, right? Because it does HP percentage damage in her kit. So I'm very interested to see how it does in a matchup versus a Kled, who's more of a squishy champion that likes to take kind of short trades and then sort of hit you, not prolonged trades, sorry, and just use that chicken to mount and dismount.
Yeah, I will say the top lane matchups for this one is probably the first matchup that Baus feels comfortable in. Going from draft, I think this is the first one where we will see potentially like an even lane. My eyes are also drawn to the jungle matchup. Velia actually opted to do the top side quadrant first, then recall, then try and match a longsword versus Zed, who can then recall and buy double longsword at the Scuttle Crab fight. Yes. So that way, they actually kind of have parity in terms of items.
But I feel like he did this because he was kind of scared of a bot lane invade, right?
Yeah.
You have a Zed, Yukino has been sort of living rent-free in his jungle, and maybe rent-free in his head right now at this point.
Baus gets caught briefly here by the knockup, has got the remount, gets the shotgun off.
Well, it's a dog on this skin, but yeah.
It is. He's going to jump in. Gets the bear trap on a rope here onto Mainta, pulls him back, but Mainta does have that knock-up, so not going to be too
it's
aggressive.
Fantastic that you get the rope while Rek'Sai is burrowed, where she heals, right? Because the anti-heal from the rope actually really helps in that situation too.
I think they just got rid of the anti, literally on the recent rework. You're
kidding me?
Literally just.
He had the highest anti-heal together with Katarina.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
Oh, Yukino.
Yeah, Yukino's coming over. Baus does have flash. He's going to get flashed onto here by Mainta. Yukino's going to chase forward. There's going to be the chicken. Gets the gun off. Yukino flashes forwards. One more tower shot is not going to come through. Another first blood to Yukino.
How does he do it every game?
Oh, Velia?
Velia.
He's going to flash over, finds the lockdown. A bit of revenge looking here for him, but he's not going to be able to find the kill. There it is. Velia gets his revenge.
Finally, some revenge on the Rift. The yin and the yang, everything is equal again. But I will say that Baus took 2 flashes for that particular kill to go down. And even though his lane is at a very weird state where you're expecting maybe Zeta will come and gank you because your wave is stuck very close to enemy tower, now that Velia got the kill, he gets to sneak inside the jungle, so then Baus in return feels very confident stepping up on this wave to try and crash that.
Piero's just been a complete nuisance here to Brownie. Won't let him reset.
Let them cancel. Reset, sorry.
Oh, Baus gets himself a nice trade-off here onto Mainta. Doesn't go into tower shot there. Does get a couple of shots in with the gun. Will be able to remount fairly quickly. Nice play here from Baus.
Yeah, so these heavy trades, they're gonna, in the long run...
Oh, he's going all in!
Hang on a minute.
He's gonna look for the kill! Baus, no flash! No tower shot comes through! Mainta just about survives, as does Baus. This top lane is getting very, very dicey.
Yeah, that chain vest is doing work. That's the burst of the Kled. I thought one more tower shot, it would have done... Wait, hang on a minute. He has tunnel. Is he going to go for it?
He's looking for it, but Velia's on his way over. Baus needs to get the gun to get backwards. He's not going to be able to find the kill, but Velia is chasing for him. Tunnel's getting used by Mainta. He can see where Velia is. Velia looks at the lockdown, goes in for the grass, and just has to bail it off. It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, too much healing onto the Rek'Sai right there. You're going to be able to walk on out of there. If he had cookies, that would have helped. But regardless, Velia, you're going to waste some time.
Yeah.
And that's going to be Dragon for Yukino, and they're continuing their objective rampage.
Literally no objectives still to LR, and we're into game number 3. That's the first Dragon over. Yukino will actually have a full blue side that he can clear. Does have Velia making his way over, so it's not going to be for free, but he's at least going to get this Gromp and get a bigger lead over his jungle counterpart just because of that attempted save onto Baus.
But this will be level 6 after this camp for Velia right here, so I'm wondering if he can snowball his level 6 into a Scuttle Crab that's going to be spawning towards the bot side of the map. He has met Yukino over in the banana bush right now, but the reset came faster from the bot lane. Oh,
no
my
flashes.
god!
Velia's very low here, gets himself another bush put up, jumps into safety. Yukino's going to grab that, and that actually means Yukino's going to hit 6 first. Velia has to play so scared now.
This is so unfortunate there was no smite on either of them. Velia could have potentially played the 50-50 to get that smite and play with his ult first, but there was no smite available for either, so he just had to back off.
And he lost his entire jungle as well, so he's still got a ways until he hits that 6 off the back of that. Has to wait for the camps to spawn up. So Loki's getting a nice shove here onto Nemesis on the Ahri. Has been able to build up a slight CS lead over Nemesis. And I am curious what the game plan is with this Ahri. What are you actually going to do into the Azir, who just kind of mad outranges you?
Yeah, I already look at like 2 really good side laning champions right here. With Baus's global here with the Kled ultimate, as well as the ability to play side with an Ahri. I think there's definitely plays that they can make later on in side lane, especially onto the Azir. However, until then, there's a long time, right? Until then, they've just got to play the lane phase. And I suppose they do have a decently strong grub fight, you know, playing for the grubs. There is like some parity in terms of strength.
Now here's the problem that has surfaced about split pushers ever since we have souls and 4 dragons and all that. Eventually, they're going to have to group to play into a 2-3 item Azir, right? So you cannot sort of close your eyes like the ostrich, like put your head into the sand and pretend that there's no enemies around you just because you don't see them, right? I'm going to be completely honest, I don't see how Ahri fits here. Or into the Azir, rather, or in general.
They just have one shot.
They find the interrupt onto Crownie. He's caught by the ignite.
Around.
Does have the ultimate to break away. Reckless is here to keep him alive. But ultimately, Piero is not letting Crownie get a free reset off ever. And now they're going to get a little bit more damage here onto Reckless. They're going to throw out the Curtain Call as well, looking for Reckless. No level 6 available to him. He's going to throw the shield up. 4 shot goes through, gets blocked out as Baus on the top side. We cut over to him. He is very diveable right now.
Look at Yukino. He's actually heading towards the top side of the map as well.
I don't even think he needs Yukino. He's got the execute on the ultimate.
Oh, Baus is about to get the mount up in time as he's able to jump away, but he now gets himself into another position where he's in danger, puts the tunnel up for a bit of safety. Mainta just going to get himself the plate as Baus is going to continue to have to play defensively here. Dodging away on the knock-up. Baus playing on a knife's edge there in that fight as Nemesis could be finding himself in danger. Misses the charm, is just going to throw the ultimate out to play escape. Grubs go over. LR getting nothing because their laners are suffering so bad.
Mainta was one auto away from getting a full Fury bar, a true damage buy into an ulti, and that would have just clapped Baus. But not going to find it right there. Still, Baus is suffering. I said that maybe this would be the most comfortable lane that he had, but he's down almost 30 CS still, and downplating top lane.
Yeah, I don't know about the Kled in general. I feel like it's just a very Baus pick, right?
1, 2, 3 comfort.
And also blind pickable. I thought it was going to be probably like a Cho'Gath or a Gragas. I don't know why they're gravitating so far from the Gragas, especially when you can have the combo together with the Qiyana. I feel like it would have been very, very helpful, but potentially they were worried about a matchup that Mater had into it that could have been completely disastrous. However, this is not looking the best either, as a trade's going to come through. Again, prolonged trades for the Kled is what he wants to unmount and remount again.
Yeah, top lane is just so sustain heavy that there's just constant trading because of the remount HP and then also Rek'Sai sustain every single time. So both are going to have bomb damage. The damage graphs are going to be really ridiculous.
It's a very cute matchup sound. Now, I will say, here's my little bit of copium for NLC fans. This is the most equal we've seen the teams all
and there's still a 1,000 gold
lead. And there's still a 1,000 gold lead. Baus, I don't know what he was looking to do if he was going for the
look
proxy.
on the map, Yuki knows on his way to the top lane.
He's in real danger. Baus is able to jump over the wall with the gun. Another shot was going to clear him over, but like you said, Yukino's in the way over. I don't think Baus is going to live this one. Yukino takes him down. Baus, honestly, just a tragic misplay from him looking for a potential proxy angle.
Yukino, he's just picking up kills top lane to accelerate himself. He's got an Eclipse, and he picks up another kill, accelerating on the way to his next item.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like when LR lost to Nord in the NLC, I feel like it was primarily Baus dying to jungle timers.
Nemesis is in danger, has got the ultimate, needs to play away from Piero, but he's able to lock him down.
Oh,
One more dash is gonna break free. He looks for the shot. Nemesis dodges away. The 1 versus 3 goes in his favor.
And he's getting so much attention top lane. I feel, in the mid lane. Nemesis can't play. He's ganked over and over again, whilst there's nothing really happening down bot side. You'd expect the Sivir and the Renata to be getting a lead.
That is a big TP right here from Nemesis, because that was a flash and an ult for 3 ults on the side of KCB. So this might be the only objective where Yukino might try to just 50-50 and they're not going to fight it.
That's going to be the first objective ever. Piero Hex splashes over the wall to see if it was an option.
I was thinking maybe he gets the smite right there from the spellbook,
but
wasn't the case.
Yeah, of course.
That wasn't the case.
Mainta going to be able to get even more gold over. Does get pulled in by the bear trap on a rope, but Baus, mate, you are not tanky enough to keep taking these fights. So he's just going to clear the wave. Another plate doesn't fall, luckily for him. As Nemesis, again, receiving a lot of love. No Spirit Rush available to him. Looks for the Charm angle onto him, but Yukino is just going to jump away to safety. Multiple shots coming in. Meanwhile, topside, Baus and Mainta going toe-to-toe. Baus is going to get the remount any second now as he looks for the bear trap on the rope. Misses it, as the minion is going to be the recipient of that bear trap. As Baus lose that trade at the end.
Play safe mid. I mean, what can Nemesis
Piero's
do here?
on top.
Piero's everywhere. He's ganking mid, he's diving mid. You've got Yukino diving mid, and now they're ganking top as well. Baus.
It's got flash.
Get cancelled.
Gonna get it cancelled. Piero's here. Here comes the cavalry. Slow Q chases forwards, and Baus has no way he's surviving that one. Down he goes. This should be first tower blood as well with Grubs.
And look at the wave. It's a cannon wave crashing underneath the tower. That's so much gold and XP that you're missing, even though you're still 1.2k behind. This is an absolute tragedy. Veli is looking for 3xa here. There is cleanse and flash.
Yeah, didn't have the stun, unfortunately, loaded up. First tower goes over. Another stack of feats in this series over to KCB. And Nemesis, this is the result of all of those flashes and ults that will burn.
And kills onto Baus, farming him gold.
Yeah, true.
Onto Yukino, so he has an Eclipse, and he just one-shots, even with the spell buffers, onto the Charm.
It's rough. It's really, really rough here. Nemesis has got the Malignant, so he's going to be building up a little bit more ult, more regularly. It's closing on that level 11 as well, but the question for me is, you know, what are they actually really going to be able to do? Crownie hasn't accelerated ahead of 3xa, has been getting a bunch of free time on the bot side, so slowly stacking up, puts up the spell shield, but it's just going to get eaten up by the W, commits the ultimate here, as Mainta able to get a massive chunk out. Crownie, he can't play the lane solo. Meanwhile, Baus is just getting himself 1v2. Yukino is going to commit the ultimate in for Baus, and Baus will fall. Yukino, 3-1 on the Z.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like LR fans are used to Baus dying, but they might find a pick here.
Looks for the ultimate, Velia missing it, and Piero's in the area, throws down the Magnet Storm for the lockdown. He's going to be able to get himself a little bit of safety away with that Q, but in comes 3XA, who just pulls the curtain on LR's jungler and potentially this series.
Yeah, frustration.
So Velia right there,
Yeah, frustration on Velia's face right there. It's just clear as day. Your win cons are running out, items are being completed, Nash is on the key targets right there, slow Q, also, and Nemesis. He's going to have to ulti away too. At the very least, he does have Malignant, so even if he does have to ult away and burn it, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Oh, we're just going to go to the flash!
Oh no!
Commits the ultimate, they're going to get the heal off! Nemesis able to break away! They're looking for the tunnel angles, but it's not going to matter! Menta finds the Praise Seeker! In comes Crowley though, trying to find a bit of extra damage, but there's a tunnel for Menta to use. He's just going to swim to safety, and LR get nothing in response.
I just feel like they've been getting hands diffed the whole series, and Yukino is waiting for Velia again!
Oh no, Velia is so chunked, there's nothing he can do. The redemption's coming in, he dodges away on that final Q, but this could just be bot lane getting jumped by everybody in the area.
Velia's suffering as well. He dies top lane in top river, tries to go to farm his bot side camps, gets pushed out of his jungle. He hasn't played the game in the last few minutes. And they're just suffocating, they're drowning. They really, really are. KC Blue are putting on a clinic.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like fans are used to watching Baus die right here, but dying on jungle timers was what again took them down versus Nord, right?
Yes.
And I feel like he's been dying to very simple jungle timers. Jungle is up on the top side, where are you expecting that set to be, right? And I feel like it's not been his series because most of the kills have been fed into Yukino, and Yukino's been snowballing the series for KCB so far.
Yeah, unfortunately, the acceleration onto Yukino has really spelt the demise here for Velia, but I do think Piero has been, in my opinion, the MVP of this series.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He has been everywhere on this rel. His Alistair last game, we thought it was a bad matchup for him, looked genuinely amazing.
Nautilus as well.
I mean,
Nautilus
that's the
was a great
impressive
game one.
thing,
He's
right?
just
Like,
been so good.
It was a hard Alistair game, but he still popped off, you know?
Talking about him, he's now top lane.
I don't think Baus is going to be feeling too happy about that one. Is going to get himself demounted, tries to build up enough rage, is going to get the remount off, but Piero's still waiting about in case this gets dicey. Bear Trap on a rope connects, but, I mean, you are looking at Baus, who I think he sold his Profane Hydra and is now...
He's building towards Titanic, right? He's just that poor.
I swear he had a Profane Hydra at some point. Oh no, I'm looking at Velia, that's why. Okay. He's so far behind, he hasn't got a single item yet.
But this is the thing about Rek'Sai. Look at all the tunnels that she has laid out on the top of the map. You can't very easily catch her.
They're going to look, they're going to throw the ultimate in, looks for the lockdown, the handshake goes down as Menta is going to commit the ultimate, tries to find the breakaway, but the tunnel over the wall is going to put enough space in.
Oh,
Reckless is going to break it, the teleport comes through, and LR, it is just not their series. KCB, they want to stay on top of the region, and it looks like they might be shutting LR out.
The Rek'Sai ultimate to dodge out on the hostile takeover.
Hold on.
Is insane.
Okay, he's fine. He's fine.
He's not fine.
He's not. Piero's,
He's not
Piero's
fine.
about to jump the wall, man. This guy is so good. Oh, has to ult just to get a couple of caster minions. Oh, the heartbreak here for LR.
Oh, 3XA hovering the emote that's an FF. That's so BM. I mean, it's rough.
I mean, do you blame him? 7,000 gold lead, 17 minutes in. This is the team that has been dominating EMEA the entire year. They haven't gone down 0-2 to any team at all the entire year. This is an upset of upsets.
Menta with the catch me if you can. And he's going to ulti the hostile takeover here so that he doesn't get CC'd right there, and then he's going to take the tunnel over. I mean, it's flawless, isn't it?
I know we talked about...
What a top gap.
We talked about... It is. I know we talked about Aragon cursing players. Am I the one who cursed this? This is my first EMEA cast of the year, and LR.
3-1. No, he said 3-1 at large. I think you cursed it.
Yeah, okay. Let's just put it
He's
all on
moved on from players.
Yeah, he's now just started, like, a group of players, otherwise known as a team. It's Baus. Going to dodge away on the Emperor's Divide, but... Man,
I don't know if that was a dodge or...
I missed, but, you know, it was a zoning ultimate.
Yeah, that's right.
I really want to see Yukino in the LEC. I'm going to say it.
Yeah,
I really
want
to see Yukino in the LEC. I think He's got it, man. The early game playmaking is crazy.
But again, this bounces back to what I was talking about EMEA. The whole point of this tournament is to display talent.
Crownie.
As they're looking for Crownie underneath the tower, the shots! Yukino just evaporates him.
The back away into the W forward, landing both Shurikens into the execute.
Faust, I don't really think you're going to do much of anything here, just taking so much damage on the tail out. I haven't seen Reckless, I've only seen Reckless ult once this game. Because they're not grouping up for team fights, they're just getting run down in picks. It's pick into pick into pick.
Absolutely.
And LR, we talked about it, their strongest showing is when they're in team fights. Reckless is going to miss the ultimate thanks to the Zhonya's, but it's going to be followed up by the lockdown of a supreme display of talent from Velia, but it doesn't do any damage. Nemesis jumps over the wall, looks for the charm, but it's flashed away. LR biting at the bit to find a single kill, but they can't get diddly squat. Charm goes wide time after time, as now Nemesis is potentially in danger. 3XA gonna put some serious damage into Velia, and LR, they can't get nada.
When was the last time you saw an AD carry walk up to Qiyana melee range like this?
You'd expect a carry 1v4 versus Qiyana and a full team to die.
He is actually in serious danger. Jumps the wall safely. This is a very, very one-sided series, and Crownie throws up the spell shield. It just gets eaten up, and now the redemption's coming in. He is going to heal up enough to stay alive, but again, Reckless's redemptions are not being used in the way you want to see them. We see them in Worlds when it's the fight and you get everyone with a big heal to sustain through those team fights and buy a bit more time for your ADC. You don't want to do it to keep a Rek'Sai off a Sivir who's not even overextended.
Man, are they going to need a miracle right here.
Every
objective goes the side of KCB.
Did LR get an objective this
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they got a dragon.
They got
a dragon.
Single dragon.
Okay, yes, so they got a dragon this series. That is a sad sentence.
And they've been so good on objective control. They've been very good domestically at trading objectives to make sure that they get the objective they favor. They've typically been grubs for them, and they've gone for dragons later game. But this game, they've been denied every objective, every opportunity. And you can see KCB hunting for a potential pick here onto LR. Not going to be given the opportunity. Sivir, 1.5 items right now. Like, you need a lot of time for Crownie to be able to be that Sivir carry that you want to take over a fight.
Velia, very, very serious face right there. They are on the edge of elimination by such a storied organization that when they heard that their record is about to be equaled, they stepped up.
Yeah, they really did. And, you know, honestly, I think a lot of it can come down to drafting critiques of LR. I think KCB
I feel like they
have had incredible performances on an individual level, but I also feel like LR have not drafted themselves into a favorable situation. They haven't been able to enable themselves to take over any games. And this game, they've gone all damage and no real engage, so they're kind of just waiting for people to dive into them and hope Reckless hits a big R.
I'm going to be a positive Betty here.
Go on, positive Betty.
Second item on Crownie, completed. It's a Lord Doms, bit anticlimactic, I'm not going to lie. They have to pop the Sivir ult just to walk out of Zed's range.
I like how you try to be positive and then something absolutely terrible happens. Yeah. It's rough. And this is going to be
Positive Betty has just died.
Yeah. This is going to be Dragon number 3 over to the side of KCB. LR had no business contesting that one. Maybe they can put a whole item together onto Sivir. 3-item Sivir could be a difference maker if Infinity Edge comes through at some point, but I mean, you're not really got all that much attack speed.
Okay, what's the full copium angle? We can't be all doom and gloom.
No. I think.
Come on, positive Betty, take over.
Horizon focus, IE for Crownie. You know, Horizon focus for the Ahri. Maybe.
You do know that the game has to last that long, yeah?
Yeah, I know.
It's close, but again, double fiendish.
This is the cope angle. I mean,
Yeah, but
realistically,
he asked for his third item of
KC
Crown.
Blue,
I know.
in 4 minutes this game ends because they get Cloud Soul. Right, so...
Nice dodge there from Baus. Redemption heals him up as well.
He saved you, by the way, from
I know.
From the copium.
I genuinely think your only angle is Crownie gets enough items to be able to take over a fight, and they somehow effectively peel him versus a Zed, who is 4-1.
You have Renata for that, right? So it could
yeah.
potentially work?
You do have abilities to do it. Velia could find a good angle that shuts 3XA or slow Q out of the fight, and it buys time for Crownie. That's their only condition, but Mainter here looking to jump onto Baus. Baus has already lost half of his HP, does have the remount, available, hasn't even dismounted yet. As Pierre goes for the flash forwards, or the Hex flash forwards, Baus is going to be able to clear it out, but they're going to throw the curtain call down. Velia needs to look for a good lockdown angle, not going to be given it as Baus gets dismounted here. Is just going to have to break away. Tower is saved for now, but mid lane tower is being absolutely cut through by Slowq. Reckless only has Nemesis in the area. They don't have enough wave clear.
This is robbery!
This is just daylight robbery. Nice charm, but he immediately gets caught by all the lockdown, and 3XA takes the kill. LR down their mid lane. This could be game. This could be game.
Unless they can kill Main to here. I mean, they cleared top wave.
They don't have wave for now?
They got Main-Ta's flash out. They got Main-Ta's flash. But Crownie is potentially being hunted. Yukino looking for the lockdown with the shadows into a kill. Wasn't able to connect it, but he's going to jump forwards looking for Velia. Velia throws out the ultimate. It's going to go wide. They look to throw everything up. They look for the knock-up, but Velia, he is going to fall regardless. Baus is just desperately trying to clear the way for the team.
Baus is dead.
He's so close to going down, and in jumps Main-Ta to secure the kill. The wave has been cut through. Reckless and Crownie have to hold for another 5 seconds before Nemesis comes in. They got a massive wave topside, and the Nexus could just be laid bare any second now. Crownie, only an extra pickaxe after we last talked about his items. He doesn't have the damage to 1v5 here, and he doesn't have the front line of the team. No ultimates available. Crownie trying to break away, but the towers are going down. That's the first one. The golden road will be cut short here as KCB focusing onto the Nexus. Velia's trying his hardest to hold this one, but it's not going to be enough. Slowq knocks them back. The glory kills as they cut LR short.
A legacy to be upheld.